Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how y'all doing all tonight? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, and we are live! We are live for a, yes, 3 days late, live review of this past weekend's WWE Royal Rumble 2022. It took place this past Saturday, January 29th, 2022, at the Dome of the Americas Center in St. Louis, Missouri. It was, of course, the first Royal Rumble in 2 years to be live in front of an actual audience. As last year's, of course, was at the WWE's Thunderdome. But this year, we had a live crowd back. Again, for the Rumble. We are now officially on the road to WrestleMania 38. As of today, because Saturday was 63 days. We're 60 days away currently, as of today, Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. We are 60 days away from the most stupendous two-night extravaganza, or how they're calling the catchphrase this year, WrestleMania, as they say. Let's talk about this pay-per-view. Here's the thing about Royal Rumble 2022. It's a show that I don't want to completely crap on, because I feel like, there was things that I didn't completely hate about the show. But when I sit down and think about it, I think the reality was, this show did not really get me excited at all for WrestleMania, as I expected. I wouldn't say I was insulted, but I think most of the match outcomes were very predictable. Not just because of bad creative, well, in some ways. But again, especially that men's rumble. Especially the men's rumble. With the lack of surprises, and even with even the women's rumble, with how the legends were treated. This show set up absolutely nothing for the future, besides the winners of the rumble matches. I mean, it wasn't completely insulting. Like I said, it was just bland. It was boring. It was just what was the point of this? What was the point of this? I just didn't come out of this show that excited, and I really am not looking forward to. I'm not that pumped for WrestleMania right now. I'm really not, because of the rumors I'm hearing. There really may be only one match as of now that I'm excited about, which is possibly Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. But I hear they may not be going that direction, which I do find stupid. Absolutely, positively stupid. Again, it's more so just the fact that it just showed that there's basically nobody there. There was no stars. There's nobody new, adapting from this at all. Nobody came out of this looking strong. No, fresh feuds of oh my gosh, this could be happening. We gotta focus now on the internet and the rumors, and that's the only way people tune into the show. I'm pretty much, if rumors didn't start, if ESPN didn't even send out an alert saying how, will Ronda Rousey return? I'm we gotta resort to that. We gotta resort to actually, the news actually, spreading, stuff like that. It's again, I don't, to me, it's it takes the excitement. I mean, I'm okay with the result of the women's match. I didn't like how they treated the legends, though. And I could say both title matches, one which should have been a classic because it was a dream match, was fine, but it should have been much more. Instead, it was treated as a setup to a match we've seen 20,000 times. The opening match was good, except the fact that it ended up being a waste because we're not even going back to it, and it had a DQ finish to it. Which I'd be okay with how they did it if they would have actually gone forward with the story, and also made sense the fact that somebody has to be a babyface in that. The rest of the matches, the women's title match, I knew it wasn't going to be that special. The mixed tag match was what it was. Like, this show really didn't do much. Was it insulting? No. But it was still, to me, it just did absolutely nothing for WrestleMania. Like, even sitting there on Saturday, even last night, when I actually sat down to tune into Raw, because I wanted to see what Ronda had to say, I, for the slightest bit, had an itch for WrestleMania season to bring back Raw and SmackDown reviews and just see how it went. And if it didn't, go well, I was gonna just go on hiatus again. Because like I said, I'm just not feeling it. Even after watching Raw last night, I am not feeling it. So I'm not gonna bring back my Raw and SmackDown reviews. I'm not. I'm gonna watch Chamber. Yes, I'm watching I call it a Blood Money show, but it actually is one with a little more of a purpose to it, and actually has a pretty good Chamber match set up, I will say. Even though I'm wondering where they're going with it, but we'll talk about that later. But I keep saying this. There's nothing that's really making me that excited about WrestleMania 38 right now. I'm going to watch it, yes, but I'm not excited about anything for WWE's future. There's nobody there. There wasn't even any NXT talent who was in the Rumble matches, which I'm very surprised about, especially for the men. There's definitely a couple men's wrestlers I hear about in NXT 2.0 that I'm surprised was not in the match. Unless because rumors lately have it that WWE is not happy with how NXT 2.0 has gone the first 4 months. So is this a punishment for them not doing well? I don't know. I literally have no idea. But the live chat's kind of popping right now. Let me check the live chat and see what's going on here. But before I do that, I will advertise this a couple times probably in this live stream. I posted a tweet, and I also did a YouTube post. I am asking for suggestions. So, since I do not want to do Raw or SmackDown reviews right now still, my idea is to kind of, even though I'm not that excited for it, to hype up WrestleMania, is once a week, do a retro live reaction to a classic WrestleMania match. And I'm taking suggestions. I have some in mind, but I do want to take a few suggestions. And of course, since we have 9 weeks till WrestleMania, it's going to be 9 matches. But I will definitely do one. Well, tomorrow, it depends on the weather. Tomorrow, I plan on going to my girlfriend's unless the weather's bad. If the weather's bad, maybe I'll do it. Well, no, I have Dynamite tomorrow, so I can't do it tomorrow. Thursday, though, I will do the first one, which I think I might go with the earliest one that I end up going with. I got a couple suggestions. Like I said, I'm going to take some of your suggestions, and I'm also going to, there's a couple that I definitely want to do as well. But let's check the live chat before we go anywhere else and see what we got. We got Mark and Tyler in the live chat. What's up, guys? Mark says the ending was stupid. He's going to get a championship match anyway, so why put him in the Rumble? Yes, it was stupid because, like I said, no offense, I'm sorry, it didn't. It benefited nobody. Like, you could not tell me anyone in that match, or maybe like Big E, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, had maybe the slightest chance of maybe even winning that Rumble. You knew it was Brock was going to win. You knew he was going to win. And again, it's not that again, no offense, I'll save that until we get to the men's Rumble match. Tyler says this year's Rumble's match for the men is the worst Rumble match ever. I still wouldn't say it's the worst. I still say 2015's. But 2015's was a pure insult. That one to me felt like they were purposely, trying to piss us off. This one, obviously they didn't know, but to me it felt they had no choice. I didn't feel like it was as insulting as 2015's. So yes, to me it's one of the worst, but I wouldn't say it's the worst in my opinion. Um, Mark is surprised that Vince let Mickey come out with her Impact title. So am I. Tyler gave this a 4.5 out of 10. Mark said after Moxley left, I thought we would never hear the Shield entrance music ever again, which I agree with that. Tyler thought the best match was the opening match. Honestly, it was, even though after what happened on Raw last night, now to me it was completely pointless. No one matters WWE except for Roman and Brock and Charlotte. Mark gave the Royal Rumble 2 thumbs down. AJ Styles should have won the Rumble. I agree. I definitely would have been completely for that. The men's Rumble was a 0 out of 10 for Tyler. NXT 2.0 is to go. Vince is out of touch. We all know that. Alright, let's roll into and start talking about the matches. I don't think, did anything happen? I didn't check. Did anything happen on the pre-show by any chance? Because I did not, of course, watch the pre-show. But I don't think anything happened. But let me just double check that just to be safe. Royal Rumble results. Go to cage side seats as I normally do. By the way, also, since of course there's some stuff that happened on Raw, it is going to kind of tie in a little bit in this review, like just basically like just like stuff that had to do with the matches. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. There was no pre-show match. Nothing on the pre-show. Alright, let's roll in and see what we got here for this show. We opened up the match with the Universal Championship match. SmackDown's Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief. He took on his former Shield brethren from Raw, who is also a heel, Seth freaking Rollins. That's right, Seth Rollins is not just Seth Rollins anymore. His actual name is Seth freaking Rollins. It's on his Titantron. It's on his WWE profile. His actual wrestling name is legitimately Seth freaking Rollins. I'm starting to believe they're really trying to push down our throats and make Seth Rollins a babyface again. Quite frankly, to be honest, I gotta be 100% honest. I don't think I could ever take Seth Rollins as a babyface again. It's mainly because of how he acted on Twitter while he was Universal Champion in 2019. To me, it's like he hurt his own image right there. Like, how could he go back to being a babyface again after that? I can't see it. I cannot see it happening. Like, at this point, sad to say, it'd be easier for me to see Roman turn face than Seth Rollins. I still love heel Roman. I don't want to see Roman go face again yet, but I could probably at this point buy in more Roman Reigns going babyface than Seth Rollins. But, of course, the big point for this match, Seth Rollins came out to the Shield entrance in his Shield gear, trying to play mind games and get into Roman Reigns, the fact that when it counts big time, Roman has never beaten Seth, which it is true. I don't think on pay-per-view at least, I don't think Roman's ever pinned Seth in a one-on-one match. Because he lost the title at Money in the Bank to Seth. Seth beat him clean. He did not win the Shield triple threat match. Yes, it's been like once or twice on Raw, I think, probably several times, actually back in 2014, when Roman and Seth fought on Raw and Roman beat Seth. But when it counts on pay-per-view, it's true. Seth has usually always beaten Roman. And I think Seth played the mind game of trying to get into Roman's head. And to me, it was working. Because, again, the match was good. These two always put on excellent matches. It was physical. It was, hard-hitting. Roman had two really nice near falls where he kicked out of, like literally at, 2.99999. Like, twice I thought Seth had him. I still cannot get enough of Roman going for the spear Seth countering it with a pedigree, which I still think is awesome. I still remember when they had their match at Money in the Bank 2016, I popped big time with that one. But then after Roman hit the spear on Seth, Seth kind of like rolled away. So I knew that wasn't going to be it. Seth rolls over, still in his Shield gear, of course, puts out his fist as like the Shield would, and he goes, "I've always loved you. I've always loved you." Roman snaps, puts Seth in the guillotine. If they would have had Seth just fade out, that's it, and just move on. If again, and here's the thing, I'm not about to go off on a rant on this because of this being a DQ finish. I personally think the DQ would have been fine if they, one, continued the story, and two, established a freaking babyface in this. So Roman puts in the guillotine on Seth. Seth, barely able to hang in there, still grabs the rope. He grabs on the rope. The referee starts counting. And when it got to 3, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm getting this vibe that Roman is not going to let go of Seth, and it's going to go to a DQ. And I was right. Roman did not let go of Seth, and they called for a DQ because he didn't break at the 5 count. So first, here's where I'll say. At first, I was okay with this. Because Seth basically got in Roman's head. And, he obviously pushed Tribal Chief too far, and he knew he had to protect his image. He basically, choked out Seth until he passed out, even though, Seth had his hand on the rope. But then after he finally broke the grip, he went out, grabbed a steel chair, and basically reenacted what happened when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield 8 years ago. 7.5 years ago. It'll be 8 years on June 2nd this year. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long since that happened. I still remember when that happened that night. The most silent shocked I've ever been, probably as a wrestling fan, is when Seth Rollins was revealed to be the one to turn on the Shield. But Roman took the chair, struck Seth in the back, and just went ape shit on him, whacking him left and right with the steel chair. He did like 2 or 3 rounds of that thing. He literally just brutally beat him down. And yes, I would have been okay with this. I know a lot of people weren't because it's a DQ on a big pay-per-view, and I get it. But to me, it's like, okay, it made sense. They're going to probably carry this on to the Chamber, maybe, or something like that, and have a rematch at Chamber. Even though, again, establish a stinking babyface in this match, which obviously they're trying to make it be Seth Rollins. It was not going to work, though, because Seth Rollins is still coming across as a freaking heel. But then we have Raw last night. Seth Rollins is being interviewed with his best friend, Kevin Owens. And apparently, just because of his performance, he got, and for his performance, he got added to the Elimination Chamber match on Raw for the WWE title without qualifying. And he will not go to management to help get his best friend Kevin Owens into the Chamber match without qualifying as well. So then I say, then what the hell was the point of this? What was the point of doing this match? It was a waste of time. I mean, yes, these two always have good matches. You didn't establish a face in this match, so who on earth are we supposed to cheer for? Are we supposed to want to see Seth Rollins kick Roman Reigns' ass, as Roman, obviously shown that, he feared that Seth was going to repeat history again? Like, what was the point? At this point, I would have rather had just Roman, have Seth pass out to the guillotine and win clean. I would have rather had that than have a DQ finish, obviously have a story that still needs to be told between these two, apparently. But now you go on Raw and he's in the men's Chamber match, and you know as hell they're not going to throw Seth Rollins into into the main event of WrestleMania with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, you know for sure Vince does not want that. Plus two, I wouldn't want it because I don't want to see a triple threat in the main event of WrestleMania 2 years in a row. They can't keep getting away with that. That's why I don't want to see. I mean, I would like to see Roman, Brock, and Drew McIntyre, of course. But like I said, we had a triple threat last year, and it was amazing with Roman, Edge, and Bryan. But like I said, this did nothing. Like, the match was good, the finish would have been acceptable if they continued the story, but again, it didn't make either one of these guys a babyface, and the feud's not even continuing. So again, what the hell was the point of this? Really nothing. But that's just the start of Roman, just putting in control of what happens throughout the night, even though he didn't really make an appearance at another time in the show. I thought he should have. But so that's the opening match. Let's move on now to the Women's Royal Rumble match. Which this match, we had a lot of surprise entrants announced ahead of time. Not all, but a good amount of them. Let's talk about this women's match. Because, yes, even though in the live reactions, I seemed to enjoy it, and I didn't completely hate it. I would say, though, this may be one of the weakest Rumble matches they've done for the women so far. Since, well, I even thought this may be the weakest. I personally still thought the first Women's Rumble match was the weakest because it was very obvious that Asuka was going to win, and it was a lot of out of shape women and women that, of course, like yesterday, who still just aren't enhanced. But this one still had people who I feel like are more enhanced. It's just that no one really got over in this match at all. Nobody. And the legends, of course, as well, were just insulted. The appearance by them was just insulting. So, the match started off with entrant number 1, Sasha Banks. Entrant number 2 is Melina. Surprise entrant. I thought it was great. Melina only lasted 30 seconds in this Rumble match. Just 30 seconds. Which was stupid. Number 3 was Tamina, who lasted a lot longer. Number 4 was Kelly Kelly. Not long later, Kelly Kelly was tossed over by Sasha Banks. Number 5 was Aaliyah, who got a lot of time in the match. Same with number 6, Liv Morgan. Number 7 was Queen Zelina Vega. She would eliminate Sasha Banks, which at first I was shocked about because I thought that they would have Sasha Banks be another journeyman Iron Man appearance in this Rumble match, and she started off at number 1. But of course, I will forgive it because I did hear Sasha Banks is hurt still, and she was working hurt. So her short appearance, I'll let that one slide. Number 8 was Bianca Belair. Number 9 was Dana Brooke. Number 10 was Michelle McCool, who I think's been in all except for 1 or 2 of the Rumbles. I wouldn't mind seeing her honestly have come back for a brief part-time run. She still seems like she could go in pretty good shape, but I don't think she wants to. She eliminates Dana Brooke. Number 11, Sonya Deville, who had her first match back, I think, last Friday on SmackDown since SummerSlam of 2022. But she, of course, chilled on the side of the ring and waited to enter the ring. Number 13 was another surprise return. The one who was best known for laying a woman on her back and telling the referee to count when, newsflash, you're supposed to flip them over and pin them on their back for them to count, laying on their back to count, not on their stomach. But yeah, Cameron And I thought, oh crap, we're going to get a Funkadactyls reunion here, aren't you? Well, Sonya then eliminates Cameron. And immediately after that, that's when Naomi comes out. Of course, all we got was Naomi helping up Cameron outside, and that was it. So I'm like, okay, no Funkadactyls reunion, which I wouldn't have cared because I wasn't really a Cameron fan anyways, or a fan of the Funkadactyls. But that was just pointless. And then Naomi eliminates Sonya Deville. I'm like, okay, fine, get a little bit of retribution there. That's fine. We then have Carmella at number 15, who took forever. She had to put on another stupid mask. Rhea Ripley came in number 16, eliminated both Carmella and her tag team partner Zelina Vega. Yeah, of course they gave Zelina a little more time and gave her Sasha Banks elimination because they must really want to kiss up to Zelina for what they did to her. They must. And then number 17 was the Queen, Charlotte Flair, who came in this match, of course, as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And if Charlotte won the match, she gets to pick her opponent. So I thought, okay, this could probably at least set up for a WrestleMania match. Unfortunately, it still could, but it's not the one I wanted, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But she eliminates Aaliyah, who they put in there for quite a while. Okay. But then Naomi is eliminated when she at first was landed on her hands through a handstand on the apron to save herself. But then Sonya Deville came back and pulled her off and eliminated her. And taunts her. Let me say something here. I like both Naomi. I like Sonya Deville. Sonya especially has improved drastically since she first came to WWE. And the fact she's getting back into the ring and actually wrestling, I like it. This feud with her and Naomi has been going on since SummerSlam, I believe. Since August. 2 months longer than it's been since Raw's been hyping up Veer. Where the heck is Veer? I don't give a shit about him, but where in the heck is he? Quit hyping him every week. He is not going to be a big star. I'm sorry. But when are you finally going to get on with the point of this Naomi and Sonya Deville storyline? It's been since August, and yet we still don't know why on earth does Sonya Deville despise Naomi. Why? Give me a reason, just something different to further the story. We've been at the same spot for months. We get it. Sonya does not like Naomi. After September, October, November, December, January, now starting February, after a little over 5 months, I just gotta ask for the millionth time. Why does she hate her? Is it that much to ask for? This should have been, does anybody want to see this be a WrestleMania feud? I don't think it's worthy of being a WrestleMania feud, but we're probably going to get it dragged all the way out to WrestleMania, and yet maybe we'll still get to WrestleMania, and we still probably won't know why Sonya Deville hates Naomi. You watch, it'll just be like the Fashion Files. Remember when we were supposed to get the revealing of who's behind this mysterious case for the Fashion Files, and we basically never got an answer. And they kept saying, "Oh, it's gonna be resolved next week." Next week comes, didn't happen. Resolved next week, saying it didn't happen. That's basically what's happening with Sonya Deville and Naomi. It's never gonna get resolved. Just like Veer is never gonna appear on Raw, even though he's hyped up for 3 months now or whatnot. Who knows? But that happened. Number 18 was another surprise entrant in Ivory, who looked pretty good for 60 years old, but she was eliminated quickly after having her spew on the microphone. Number 19 was Primo Yep, Brie Bella came out, and of course she had to do a yes chant, even though her husband is no longer in WWE and is in AEW. But she came out. Number 20 was Mickie James, who came out with her Impact theme and the Impact title. Of course, a lot of people thought it was strange that Mickie even accepted, because Vince was offering people like an Impact. I think he even offered Nia Jax. She said no, which she should, because WWE released her while she was dealing with her mental health. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were offered, they're now Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee were offered to come back, but they turned it down. Mickie James, though, came back, which again, I am surprised, especially from like the garbage bag incident from last fall. But she came back, and she came out with the Impact Women's title. And she went in there, had a thing with Michelle McCool, which two of them do have history because of the awful Piggy James storyline back in 2010. She eliminates Michelle, and then she just hangs around for like 10 more minutes, and then she gets eliminated eventually. Number 21 was Alicia Fox. Did you miss her? No, I did not either. Moving on. Number 22 was Nikki A.S.H. Almost a superhero. Who, she's a heel now, so of course she comes out from behind to attack Rhea Ripley, who was waiting for her. Plan didn't work, of course. Number 23 was the legendary Summer Rae, who got into it with Natalya and was eliminated 30 seconds later. Yeah, some legend, right? Number 24 was Nikki Bella, the one I kept making jokes about how the most noteworthy thing she's ever done is enter John Cena's bedroom. But she came out. There was her and Brie teased a Team Bella reunion with Alicia Fox. Yeah, remember that in 2015? Teased it, but then they eliminated Alicia Fox. Bye-bye, Alicia. Of course, I forgot who else did they eliminate. Who else they eliminated later? I think it was Liv Morgan and the 25 enter, who was a surprise also. But of course, the Bellas did the whole user sign. I hated when they did that. And to this day, even after not seeing them for a while, I still do hate it when they go. I hate it. It drives me insane when they do that. But Nikki came out number 24. Number 25 was Sarah Logan, who teased a reunion with Liv Morgan until they both were eliminated by the Bella Twins. I don't think Sarah Logan is back for good, but no offense, was she really that worthy of a surprise? Like, Ruby Riott is not going to be able to come back now, unless there's a Forbidden Door thing with WWE and AEW, which I doubt they would do. But there's no way they're going to be able to have a Riott Squad reunion, and we'll call them the Riott Squad because Ruby Riott is Ruby Soho, and she's in AEW now. And again, I've heard that apparently she had a good character on the indies, but was Sarah Logan even ever anything that spectacular on the main roster? So this surprise, I was like, unless you're bringing her back to do something with Liv and have like her and Liv win the women's tag titles at Mania or something like that, this is a waste. But they were eliminated by the Bella Twins. Number 26 was my second choice for pick to win this match, Lita, who came out at number 26. She came out and she eliminated Mickie James. Number 27 was Mighty Molly Holly. As she's entering, though, people were like, oh, she should have a feud with Nikki A.S.H. Well, Nikki A.S.H. was hiding outside the ring and attacked Molly Holly and would eliminate her from the match very quickly. So that happened there. Then we have number 28. The rumors are true! Yes, I did pop for it, of course, though, because I was excited to see her again. Ronda Rousey. Rowdy Ronda Rousey. She's back! Comes out at number 28. And, of course, you saw her on Raw last night. She was not high-fiving fans. She was not smiling. She was serious. So is she back as a heel or is she back as a face? I don't know. I'm feeling heel, but she came out and had a good performance. She, of course, first eliminated Nikki A.S.H. Then, of course, she had an encounter with the Bella Twins. They have history from back at Evolution when they main evented with the Raw Women's Champion on the line, Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella. That was a waste. Shouldn't have done that match. The main event still should have been Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair at that last women's standing match for the SmackDown Women's title, which was phenomenal match of the year for the women for me. But she had a run with them. Eventually, though, by a miscommunication, Brie eliminates Nikki, and then Ronda eliminates Brie. Shotzi Blackheart came out number 29, and then Shayna Baszler came out number 30, which was the first time I think we've seen Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey in the ring at the same time. Too bad that, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke didn't work out, unfortunately, with their pin in WWE. But we have Shotzi get eliminated by Ronda Rousey. Then Natalya got eliminated by Bianca Belair. And then Charlotte eliminated Lita. Now that one disappointed me. Because I honestly thought... So, here's the story. Apparently, recently, it was revealed that AEW contacted Lita about coming in to do a match with Britt Baker. Which probably would have been the match to do at Revolution, maybe. For AEW this coming month. Or next month, whatever it is. That would have been cool. Lita, though, turned it down. So WWE is bringing her in. And honestly, I think the best match they could have set up in this Rumble match for WrestleMania for Charlotte was to have Lita eliminate Charlotte. Charlotte's beating Trish. Why can't she have a match with Lita? Charlotte, though, eliminated Lita. So now, why would we want to see that match happen at WrestleMania if Lita got eliminated by Charlotte? Lita, though, of course, came out on Raw last night after Ronda and Becky had their short little segment and challenged Becky Lynch to a match elimination chamber for the Raw Women's Championship. Which, cool. But, of course, again, why would you have Lita lose to Becky and then go fight Charlotte at WrestleMania? So I think that's out of the picture. And I guess the only logical choice, in my opinion, would be Sasha and Charlotte. Even though I'm hearing some other rumors. We'll talk about that momentarily. But that elimination I didn't like. Then Charlotte eliminated Rhea Ripley. So it came down to the final four of Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey. Charlotte, of course, eliminates both Shayna and Bianca at the same time. There was a spot where Ronda went shoulder first into the post on the apron, and I cringed. I'm like, I thought that was going to be it. I thought she was going to get eliminated right there, but she was not. And then just a few seconds later, even though they had a brief stare down, like it was going to be some big deal. Just a few seconds later, Ronda tosses Charlotte over the ropes, and Ronda Rousey wins the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match. So, that was my pick. Ronda was my number one pick. I'm cool with her winning the Rumble. I'm fine with it. My number two pick was Lita and then Bianca Belair. I'm cool with this because WrestleMania 38 needs some type of must-see match. A match people want to see. And to me, that match still is Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Because yes, Ronda has history with both Charlotte and with Becky. However, the tension people want to see more is Ronda and Becky. That should have been a one-on-one match at WrestleMania 35, but instead they had to throw Charlotte in there, make it a triple threat match. And yes, Ronda and Charlotte technically have unfinished business because especially of how their match at Survivor Series 2018 ended, which was an excellent match, keep in mind. But the rumors are floating that Ronda was on Raw last night, and basically I said how she does not respect Rebecca. She's going to SmackDown, and she will make her decision of which champion she's going to face at WrestleMania on Friday. I'm hearing rumors she's actually going to SmackDown to face Charlotte, which I'm sorry. I'm cool with them doing another match. But the match people want to see more is Ronda and Becky. Like, who is Becky going to face at this point? People keep saying her and Bianca would, which, okay, if they have Bianca win if they have a women's chamber match and Bianca wins it, okay, cool. But we're already doing Becky and Lita. And, are they really going to do anything to give Bianca a match for Mania? Besides Chamber? Like, if they don't do Chamber, then how is she going to get a match with Becky? I don't know. But I still think, obviously, the match people want to see as soon as Ronda gets back is her and Becky one-on-one. Becky's the one who pinned her with that botched finish at WrestleMania 35. So why would Ronda go after Charlotte first rather than Becky? Unless she's afraid of Becky. But the other problem is, who the hell is the heel? Because I still think it should be Ronda as the heel, Becky as the face. But, WWE is so stubborn in their own ways, they do not want to turn Becky heel, even though she was a heel in the match she had with Doudrop following this. Doudrop. And Ronda is definitely not showing any signs of being a babyface. She's coming out to the ring going serious, like storm to the ring, being all serious and everything. She's not giving fans high fives. She's definitely not a face. So who wants to see heel Becky Lynch and heel Ronda Rousey? Or heel Ronda Rousey and heel Charlotte Flair? I get it. Charlotte's on Fox. Fox gets more money, but the reality is here, why would Ronda not go after Becky? Because she's her true nemesis. I mean, yes, so is Charlotte, but she has more beef with Becky than Charlotte. As for Charlotte, I mean, again, have Ronda face Becky. I guess Charlotte faces Sasha when Sasha's healthy. Because who else is she going to face? Like I said, Lita's not beating Becky at Elimination Chamber. So why would Lita lose one title match just to go to get another one? Someone who actually eliminated her. If they would have had Lita eliminate Charlotte, then they would have set the match. But, nope, they had to do it that way. I will say this, though. I'd say if she's still around, and she gets the title, even though I think Becky Lynch should win the title against Ronda, SummerSlam. Ronda Rousey and Bianca Belair. The baddest woman on the planet versus the EST. I actually have been interested in that match. That would be pretty good. Heck, don't make Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar the main event of Night 2. Make Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey the main event of Night 2. That's the more must-see match, in my opinion. But we're probably not going to get it. We're probably going to get Ronda and Charlotte, which, okay, fine, but again, it would make much more sense for Ronda to go after Becky first. Speaking of Becky, she took on Doudrop. But again, another heel-on-heel match. Why couldn't they just make Becky Lynch a babyface here? Obviously, there's no other babyfaces for her to face right now on Raw. And Doudrop apparently is only a heel because she basically is taking Nia Jax's spot as the big dangerous woman that everybody's supposed to fear. Which, yes, Doudrop actually could make that work because she's a good wrestler, unlike Nia Jax, unfortunately. But again, it didn't work with this heel and heel dynamic, and the match was just forgettable. Becky won, and like I said, it's just, there was nothing to it. Alright, let's talk about this next match. Match number 4. The Dream Match. The match we should have had at SummerSlam 2018 or WrestleMania last year or at SummerSlam 2021 in Vegas. We're getting it here, though. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. I was pumped for this. The match went over pretty good, I would say. We had Bobby Lashley try to do a spear on Brock, but he went to the barricade himself. We had Suplex City happening with Bobby Lashley no-selling those suplexes. You know, a couple times he kind of put out his shoulder and landed on his shoulder on the suplexes, which were, you know, crazy spots. But Brock still, I felt like, got dominated most of the match. I mean, Bobby didn't look weak or anything, but the best part, I think, for Bobby, of course, when he had Brock locked in the Hurt Lock. But then, we get to the finish. The finish was, first off, a referee got knocked down. He gets back up, literally walks right into Brock Lesnar's face, as Brock does an F5 and knocks out the referee for a second time. So the referee looked dumb as hell. But then, we all predicting this was going to happen. And it did, and honestly, it kind of makes no sense to me. I'll have to explain after this match and the Rumble match. Roman freaking Reigns, who, storyline-wise, he was not able to have his match with Brock at day one. So obviously that story's not over yet. But this, I feel like, after thinking about it again, made Roman look stupid. Roman comes out while the referee's down and spears Lesnar. He then goes to Heyman, who turns on Brock and hands Roman his Brock's title and hits him with the championship. Walks away as the referee's coming conscious. Bobby Lashley pins Brock Lesnar dirty like a coward, weak-looking heel. They couldn't have a clean finish. They had to use a dream match that WWE all knows we wanted. They had to use it to set up for a match that we've seen at WrestleMania. This will be the third time, and like the 10th time out of how many times we've seen Roman take on Brock Lesnar. And it's not just that, but if the story is Roman is trying to avoid Brock, then why would you cost him his championship when the Rumble match is still happening? You basically set up your own trap. If he doesn't want to face Brock, which why should he face Brock? He's already beaten Brock and he beat him at Crown Jewel. But why did he initiate Brock to come at him and pick the fight with him by being assistant with Heyman and turning on Brock? Now you're setting up for Brock, who obviously, everybody should know, gets special privileges, and he basically is coming after you now, and you're just going to literally be a dumbass about your own thing that you've set up. Like, the match, that was good, but then I thought the way they finished, I'm just like, okay, we saw that coming, but also, why would Roman provoke Brock and not, want Brock to keep the title? That way he would hope that Brock would stay away from him. Even though that's to be a better story to lead to a title match at Mania, and Brock is going for that by being in the Chamber match, get his rematch, even though Big E never got his rematch. I still don't want to see it. I still do not want to see title for title Roman versus Brock. If it was Roman versus just about anybody else, I'd be for that. But Brock? I'm sorry. I've liked Brock's run since coming back at SummerSlam. I like the new look. I like the character and everything. But I don't need to see Brock Lesnar with the championship. And I also don't need to see for the millionth time Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, which is what we're getting at WrestleMania 38. Brock still is getting his rematch for the WWE title inside the Chamber, and he's looking to throw Bobby Lashley. And like I said, this is a dream match. Not a setup match, but it made it into a setup match. And Bobby Lashley did not win clean either, which was ridiculous. Moving on to the next match, it was the Grit couple, Edge and Beth Phoenix, taking on The Miz and Maurice, the It couple. this was decent. It was what it was for like a cool down match. I still just felt that this feud really had no business being on a pay-per-view. This could have been on Raw. I'm sorry. Like why are you wasting the Miz Edge with the Miz? That's all I gotta say. Oh, I forgot to pull the graphic, but that's all I gotta say. The only thing I really remember from this match that was very cool that stood out to me was Maurice's Hurricanrana she hit on Edge. I did not know she could do that. But you know, that was cool. And then the main event. The very predictable main event. The Men's Rumble match. We started off with AJ Styles at number 1 and Shinsuke Nakamura at number 2. Which I saw that, I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. Maybe AJ will get a journeyman appearance in this, and maybe, or he may win from number 1. Which I would much rather have had. I would have much rather had AJ Styles win his first Rumble. He hasn't won a Rumble match yet, and maybe he can go on to WrestleMania and fight Roman Reigns. For a match we have not seen since 2016, FYI. Austin Theory was number 3. I'm actually surprised Austin Theory was on a Final Four participant because Vince is just obsessed with him. Number 4 was Robert Roode. They teased a match with Styles and Roode, which honestly would be a cool match, but then Roode got eliminated quickly. Number 5 was Ridge Holland. Nakamura's then eliminated. Number 6 was Montez Ford. Number 7 was the United States Champion Damian Priest. Number 8 was Sami Zayn. Nobody's been eliminated still, besides Nakamura and Roode. Number 9 was Johnny Knoxville, who was hyped up for this match with a mini feud with Sami Zayn. You care? I did not either. He came in there and Sami Zayn eliminated Johnny like he was a joke. So why was the point of him being there? I don't know. Number 10 was Angelo Dawkins. And number 11 was Omos, who would eliminate both Dawkins and Ford of the Street Profits. Everybody was going to be teaming up with him eventually. Number 12 was Ricochet. Everybody's still paying attention to Omos. Number 13 was Chad Gable, who they basically all tried to gang up to take out Omos. First, Gable instructed Priest to go after Omos. Didn't work as Omos eliminated Priest. After Priest had a great appearance in the Rumble last year, looked like crap in this one. Number 14 was Dominic Mysterio. Now, come on. This should have been the match where they split up Dominic and Rey. And it didn't happen. Because Dominic came out. He helped everyone else team up on Omos and eliminated him. Happy Corbin came out at number 15. And he would eliminate Ricochet. We'll get back to that team in a second. Number 16 was Dolph Ziggler. Green-haired Dolph Ziggler. I guess he's trying to transform back into Nikki from the Spirit Squad. I don't know. He came out. Happy Corbin eliminates Dominic. So there's no turn, no storyline development at all for Dominic and Rey. So that was a waste. And then AJ Styles eliminated Austin Theory. Number 17 was Sheamus. And at the same time, AJ Styles eliminated Sheamus' tag partner, Ridge Holland, which Sheamus didn't take lightly to. Number 18 was Rick Boogs, who just basically went in there and did like a gorilla press or whatnot on everybody. He eliminated Chad Gable. Number 19. I wish I had a photo of this guy. Number 19 was Madcap Moss. Hey, Madcap Moss. Hey, Madcap, you're so funny. Oh, Madcap, I love you. Yeah, stupid Happy Corbin talk. What in the hell was Madcap Moss wearing? He had suspenders on, no top, like thin suspenders, and basically like a very, very short pair of trunks. He looked like a creepy ass stripper of some sorts. it looked awful. I was disturbed. I'm like, seriously, what the hell is he wearing? His character is so awful, and he makes his appearance look like a... And then he eliminates AJ Styles. Madcap Moss eliminated AJ Styles from this Rumble match. That made me mad there. Like as soon as AJ was gone, I was done with this Rumble. I was done. Number 20 was Matt Riddle. Happy Corbin eliminated Rick Boogs. Number 21, I'm surprised he was here, as I thought he was going to be out for a little while longer. Number 21 was Drew McIntyre, who came out and attacked the two men responsible for putting him on the shelf for a few weeks. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, thank goodness he got them out there. Honestly, when he came in, I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw it. Give Drew the Rumble again. Give him the Rumble and have him face Roman at Mania, one-on-one. Number 22 is Kevin Owens. Number 23 was Rey Mysterio. Number 24 was Kofi Kingston. Poor Kofi. Kofi was pushed off the top rope. He was supposed to pull a John Morrison and land holding onto the barricade without his feet touching. Unfortunately, though, Kofi botched it and he was eliminated. I'm pretty sure that's the last time Vince is going to let Kofi do any crazy spots because he botched that one, but that sucked. Number 25 was Alpha Academy's Otis. Number 26 was Big E. Number 27 was Bad Bunny, who made a surprise return. But at this point in the match, Bad Bunny and Johnny Knoxville got the biggest pops of this match. Johnny Knoxville and Bad Bunny. Just sad and just saying. But he eliminated Sheamus and he also eliminated Dolph Ziggler. He also teamed with Rey Mysterio to help take out Otis. Bad Bunny lasted a decent amount of time. Not too much time, but a decent amount of time. Number 28 was the best in the world at thinking Braun is stupid to the movement. Braun. Yeah, we haven't seen him since he had that horrible feud with Braun Strowman for Mania last year because he thought Braun was stupid, which was so dumb. I still remember how horrible. Remember when he was supposed to have a match with Strowman at Fastlane, and he apparently hurt himself. Oh my goodness! When they showed the video clip of him apparently hurting his knee, it looked so horrible. The way he tried to pull it off and sell it, it looked so bad. It looked so fake. But he was number 28. Him and Kevin Owens go at it for a bit before Shane eliminates Owens. Someone else who I thought may have had a shot, but nope. Number 29 was Randy Orton, who him and Riddle teamed up and eliminated Big E, and he also eliminated Otis. And number 30, Brock Lesnar, as you'll expected. 2.5 minutes later, Orton eliminated by Lesnar. Bad Bunny eliminated by Lesnar. Matt Riddle eliminated by Lesnar. Shane McMahon eliminated by Lesnar. And Drew McIntyre eliminated by Lesnar. 2.5 minutes later, 5 eliminations later, Brock Lesnar wins the Rumble. As soon as AJ was eliminated in this match, you knew Brock was going to win. You knew Brock was going to win. This match was just bland. There was no surprises. I thought, again, and another thing too, there was no NXT stars. The women, I wasn't sure. Maybe Mandy Rose or Io Shirai. For the men, with how high Vince is on them, I thought we would have at least seen either Braun Breaker, maybe like Tommaso Ciampa, maybe to kiss up to give him the stay, or Pete Dunne, or even Gunther is his name now apparently, and Grayson Waller. I thought they would have done one of those guys at least from NXT. They did not. But yeah, it's like you couldn't tell me anybody else in this match stood a chance. You knew Brock was going to win. And my gripe is, okay, so I thought it was stupid of Roman to cost Brock his championship. because obviously Brock is going to instantly go after him now that he cost him his championship. So, if Roman was trying to stop Brock from winning a title, why wasn't Roman trying to stop Brock from winning the Rumble? You know, like, why could they have Roman Reigns eliminate come out and interfere and get Lesnar out of the match, even though Roman wasn't in the match? But still, that could have been, and then have, Brock go over some other hurdle to get to his match at WrestleMania. He's going to the chamber, so he wants to make a title for title. And again, I'm all for a title for title match. It's that I just don't want it to be Roman and Brock. I don't need to see that match for the millionth time. And apparently, the Rumble matches, went back and forth for quite a bit for, who was going to actually win the match. I heard rumors, and it's got me wondering for Chamber, that apparently there was a point where WWE was going to have Matt Riddle win the Rumble, and then Orton win the Chamber, and we have Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton for the WWE title at WrestleMania 38, which could still possibly be done because Riddle was in the Chamber match, not Orton. I honestly would have rather had Orton be the one to dethrone Lashley, and then Riddle dethrones Orton. Because right now, Riddle's in the Chamber match, not Orton. So if Matt Riddle's going to win the title, rather do it at Mania, and him, be the one to dethrone Randy. I'm worried that, if they do that, they're going to do what they did with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. But at least Matt Riddle win would have been something different than Brock Lesnar, who does not need a Rumble victory. Like I said, you could have had Roman eliminate Brock from the Rumble, and had Brock kind of go some other route for him to get to Roman again. Nope. Had to go with the obvious choice that we all knew was going to happen, and Brock won. That's it, guys. I was up here for about an hour talking. I'm tired, believe it or not. But, yeah. I gave the Women's Rumble a C+. Because, it was decent. I liked Ronda's return. I liked seeing some of the other legends. But again, most of the legends were treated like absolute crap in that match. And the men's match was boring. You knew nobody was going to win it. So, I gave the show a C-. I gave it a C-. Not really, that great of a show. Live chat them, getting out of here because I'm tired. Lauren thought it was the most terrible Rumble ever. Tyler agrees. Our feud going long and boring. Ronda sucks. Why was Edge and Miz not in the Rumble? I don't know. And Goldberg should have been a surprise in the men's Rumble number 30. I don't know. Who the heck knows anymore? But I'm checking out, guys. I'm tired. I gave Rumble a C-. A C- because, not everything was, that dreadful. But like I said, this show just did nothing to hype me up for WrestleMania. Nothing. But I'm going to go lay down for a few minutes, guys. I'm a little sleepy, but I do want to take care of a couple before I go to bed, though. But, guys, that's my review of Royal Rumble 2022. Again, I'm not going to do Raw and SmackDown reviews. I will do a review of the Elimination Chamber and watch that when it happens on the 19th. And again, I'm going to start doing my WrestleMania retro live streams probably on Thursday. I would say I'll do the first one. Seinfeld reviews, going to try to get back to those this week also. Again, with the bad weather coming later this week, I'll probably be sheltered at home for a bit. And hopefully more Harry Potter as well, and just keep things rolling. So guys, that's my review of the Rumble. What were your thoughts, guys, on the 2022 Royal Rumble pay-per-view? What were your thoughts on the Rumble matches? Are you happy Brock and Ronda won? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.